Are you running to something, or are you just running away from something? Welcome to another episode of Windshield Wisdom. Yours brutally here. I was having a conversation with somebody, a colleague of mine, to remain nameless in my community. And this was right before the pandemic. When I say right before, I mean like a week before everything shut down. And he had called me because he knows I have a fairly large network, and I pride myself on connecting awesome people with other awesome people. It's one of my superpowers. It really is. I'm not bragging. It's a statement of fact. I love connecting great people together. Whether it's for joint ventures, job opportunities, collaboration, just people I think would really get along famously, even just as friends or colleagues. Anyway, knowing this, he reached out to me because he was looking for a new job, which on the surface in and of itself is all well and good. However, that being said, the further we get into the call, I start realizing, oh shit, he already resigned from his current position. So he went from wanting a new job, wanting a new opportunity, to desperately needing a new job, a new opportunity, health insurance, a paycheck, the ability to feed his family and house them. Anyway, that changes the dynamics of everything. Where are you in this story? I think we're all in this story, and it's what I led this video with. Are you running to something, or are you running away from something? And there's a big difference. And I think when it comes to jobs, the time to leave a job is after you already have another job offer or multiple job offers. Not before. Not just leaving out of frustration or burnout. And the same holds true for, let's say, you're self-employed. Leaving a client, firing a client before you've replaced that revenue. Yeah, they might be, you might be tired of them. They might be a little bit of a pain in the ass. But can you really afford to just drop them like a bad habit overnight? It's an impulse decision. I think impulse decisions tend to be bad decisions. We make decisions based on emotion. Emotional decisions tend to be bad ones. So we need to be very careful, very methodical about how and when we eliminate a client, how and when we self-select our way out of work or job opportunities. And the reality of it is, just like with jobs, like there's an old saying, it's easier to find another job when you already have a job. And looking for work can be a full-time job. But it is easier to find another job when you already have another job. It's also easier to replace a client when you have a client. You're less needy. You come off as being less needy. So just think for a second, whether it's a job, a prospective client, heck, a prospective significant other, a relationship, any kind of relationship. When are you ever attracted to someone who's needy? The answer is you're not. Unless you're extremely damaged in your own right, no one is attracted to someone who's really needy. So we don't want to be coming at a job opportunity, a new client relationship, growing our business in any way from a position of need. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying, well, you can be needy without acting needy. Yes and no. I think prospects can sniff that out in your demeanor, your behavior, your tone. how much and how fast you press things in the relationship. There's an old expression called having FU money. I'll let you figure out what the F and the U stand for. It's basically having enough money that you can walk away from opportunities and say, F you. I don't need this. And when you have FU money, which most people don't have because the average American has less than $1,500 in their savings and massive amounts of credit card debt. So very few people truly have FU money. But when you have FU money, what does that allow you to do? It allows you to walk away and not be needy. You don't need that opportunity. You don't need that employer. You don't need that employee. You don't need whatever or whoever it is in that relationship. Well, you may not have necessarily FU money, but when you have a full client roster, you can walk away from certain prospects because you don't need them. You're not desperate for new business. When you have multiple job offers, job opportunities, you don't need your current employer. You can walk away from that. So there's a lot to be said for having opportunities and not being needy. And I think all of that gets back to positioning. How are you positioning yourself? So I just want to share that example without mentioning names, not throwing a friend under the bus, a colleague under the bus, so to speak. But we're all either a great example or a cautionary tale. I've been a cautionary tale more than my fair share of times in many ways. And I just wanted to bring that example to you because I think a lot of times and I'm as guilty as anyone. We're all needy in our own ways, and it's a blind spot. Sometimes we don't even recognize it. We don't even realize it. We need to be mindful and make sure that we're not coming off as needy. We also need to be mindful in our personal and professional lives that we're not making emotional decisions. We're not making rash decisions in the moment that could have severe repercussions. And I understand there's no way he could have ever predicted, hey, there's going to be a global pandemic and no one's going to be hiring and it's going to be really important to just have a job and have health insurance now more than ever in our lifetime. No one could have predicted that in the moment. But what we can do to borrow the sage wisdom and advice from a great American philosopher and poet, Mr. Ice Cube, we can check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. You might find yourself by yourself and it's bad for your health. I think that might be how the whole thing goes. I'm not a rapper, so I don't really know. But he did say check yourself before you wreck yourself. I think we all need to have those moments where we just pause, count to 10, take deep breaths, count to 10 backwards, whatever you got to do. Step out of a situation. Step out of the room. We all need to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. What do you mean by that, bro? Well, here's what I mean. You need to hit pause. Hit pause, hit mute maybe. Don't say something in the moment you might regret later. Don't do something in the moment and knee-jerk reaction you might regret later. And certainly don't come off as needy while doing any of those things. So that's today's episode of Windshield Wisdom. If you found this resource valuable and insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to this video. More importantly, head on over to coachbrew.com. That's coachbru.com, and sign up for my free electronic newsletter. When you do that, you're going to get a complimentary download of 12 ways to double your sales and double your results. That is a publication reserved for my inner circle. It's a $99 value that I am giving you as a free sample. Head on over, take advantage of the resources. Catch you in the next episode of Windshield Wisdom. Thanks.